What's up, Stepper? Welcome to the second episode of How to Become an Author. Today, I'm going to show you how to write, format, copyright, and self-publish your ebook to Amazon. Now, what gives me the right or even the ability to be able to explain this to you is that what you're looking at right here, the intangibles is what you can't see. This was my first book that I ever wrote back in November 18th of 2021. I taught myself the entire process from writing the book to publishing the book and everything in between, which includes copywriting as well. So today I like to show you guys how to do it. As you can see, this book was 39 pages back in November 18th of 2021, and this is all the information that you need to see for now. Now let's go ahead and get into it. All right. So what it all started from was this. Everything that you looked at right here, it came from this, right? So this is just the actual book itself. Now, if you're familiar anything with the channel Steps to Success, we believe as long as your heart is in every step, then you are already a success. So I cannot to actually tell you how to write your book or what it should be about. What I'm going to tell you instead is how, being the process of how I wrote the book, okay? So the process of writing this book, I basically disappeared for a little bit. And every day after I finished, my main business being real estate investing, every day after I finished that, at the end of the night, every day for like 28 days straight, I went outside to this plaza and I just sat there and I wrote this, right? So again, 39 pages, but right here it's different. It was not formatted like this when I wrote it, but as you can see, it's already in a format. And I'm going to show you that in a bit, how to actually format it. But what I really want you to understand as far as the how aspect of it, again, I cannot tell you how to write your book. You write it however you want. You write it about whatever you want to write it about. This, for me, it came from the heart. So it just spilled out of me. But that being said, there were moments when I went out there every day, and there were moments that I just sat out there for 30 minutes and didn't write anything. I just looked at the page, just like, what am I going to write? But my purpose of explaining this to you and telling you that is that I went through the process. I did not escape the process, guys. There is no such thing as breaks on your journey of success. There's only pivots, okay? Once I posted, I did a whole bunch of stuff. I stopped, but I pivoted. I didn't just stop, my journey of success. I stopped posting on YouTube, but I pivoted to a different direction, and this was it. Now, when there was nothing coming to me, I couldn't think of the idea on what to write on the paper. I didn't know what to write about, right? This was my first time writing a book. I didn't know how to really do this. That being said, the way I was able to do it is just by not avoiding the process, like magic. Me sitting there, next thing you know, a thought pattern just hit my head, and I would just start writing, just start typing. And then I'm like, that don't make sense. Let me delete that. Let me delete this. Okay. My point is, guys, make the definite decision that you're going to write the book. Once you make that decision, nothing can get in the way of your success except for you. If there was just one time I said, nothing's coming to me, let me just stay home and wait for something to come to me. Let me just go out and wait for, don't get me wrong, I did go out and do other things with my life, but I'm explaining to you that I never missed a process, never missed a day. I wrote this whole book in 28 days. Okay? Now that is understood, that you have to set yourself a definite schedule, which means that whenever you get off work or whatever your purpose is, when you're finished with that, say, hey, I'm about to sit out here for an hour. I'm going to sit out here for an hour. I'm going to think. I'm going to write some stuff. I'm going to try some things out. I'm going to keep failing forward. You got to take that mentality with everything you do in your life. You have to fail forward, okay? All right, now this is instructional. Let's get to it. So this is the book itself. But now, how do you actually write this, right? How do I get it in this format and stuff like that? Now, if you haven't already noticed, there's different chapters here. So if you're tired of hearing me talk, skip ahead. But let's get to the stuff. All right, so once you finish this, guys, once you have your actual book written, then you head over to this, Kindle Create. So with Kindle Create, you're able to download either for Mac or for PC. What Kindle Create does is it gets you in this, as you can guys see right here. It gives you the different formats, okay? So I download for Mac. Now, once you download it from Mac, it'll take you to your stuff, right? So you open it up. Yeah, whatever, save it. Okay, so now from here, you actually upload everything that you guys saw, like this book right here. This was written in like a regular format, regular Word format, right? So that being said, I uploaded those regular Word documents to this. And the way I did that was, once you actually open this up, and now let me do it right now, but once you open it up, guys, you'll be able to see, there it is, new project, right? So once you just open it up, new project, I'm not going to do it, but basically all you do is just insert everything that you need inside of there, okay? So once you insert everything that you need, and I'm going to do this real quick. All right, so choose file. Simple as that. As you guys can see, choose file. And then if I was to go to computer, desktop, down, my bad, y'all. Here we go, downloads, okay. So going through my downloads and all of this stuff, what's the file name here? Book_1. Okay. I want you guys to really get an immersive thing. All right. So book_1 documents. Open that up, and it's very simple because it just imports it for you. Everything is imported. It takes a couple of seconds, but once you're imported, you want to be taken to the exact screen that I just kind of showed you guys, so you guys can see. Okay, so and it's automatic chapters, so it'll let you go ahead and accept the chapters. I'm just going to accept the selected one. That's fine. So it puts it already like it already was kind of in a in some type of order, but you are going to have to go in here and do different things, right? You can choose how you want the chapter title to be. You can choose the different subheading or the different way you want it. You can format it a little bit differently. Now, all of these things being said, what you will come out with is the finished product, right? And now the finished product is this. So this being the finished product, you are in a position now where you have everything that you need, right? So you have everything that you need right here. So you have everything you need when you have the finished product. You have all of your chapters, emotion, awareness, everything that you need as far as the product. You're good. Now you can also, once you're all finished and you feel like you're done, you can preview it. So now you previewing it, you're going to preview it as if it were a Kindle. And the good thing about using the KDP formatting thing that I showed you guys, the Kindle Create, the good thing about using Kindle Create is that it's going to format it not only in the actual Kindle style of reading, but actually for paperback as well. So you're, two birds, one stone. But here you are, you're able to see how it looks. So now you're like, all right, my book is written. I'm on the right track. Let me go to the next step, right? So the next step, once you close this out, you're going to actually download it. So you'll press generate, and that's how you export your files. And I'm not going to do that one for you guys. But you export the files, and you see you got the copyright page right there. We're going to come back to that. But once you're finished with everything, now the next step is to actually understand the copywriting. So what you guys do, and I have this link for you, okay? This link is for you in the description. So it'll take you to copyright.gov/registration. And this is a short process, takes about 5 minutes to copyright. It does cost like $65 if you do it online, and then like $85 if you're going to do mail the actual copyright information in. So we go down here, we press log into the electronic copyright office. So we go ahead and log into the ECO. As we're logging in here, short amount of time, press some OKs and some yeses. Now you got to, if you don't have an account, you do the if you are a new register, you click here, and I'll just go ahead and enter my stuff. Now that you logged in, this is the page that you'll be taken to. Now, it's very straightforward. If you had any open cases, any open copyrights, then they will be right here. But you being a beginner, most likely, if you're watching this, you want to head over to the left hand, and you're going to put register work, and you're going to do a standard application. Now, you can do other applications, but for about 99% of y'all, if you're like myself, you're writing a standard application. And again, that's 99%, so don't trip. You're most likely doing a standard application. So this just explains basically what to expect throughout the process. I recommend you reading it for your own knowledge, but we're going to go ahead and start the registration. Now from here, we do the type of work. So type of work, as you know, you can do a whole bunch of stuff, but obviously this is a literary work. So we're going to do literary work, right? Now, click the box to confirm it. Now, once we confirm it, we press continue. Now from here, guys, you just go through and you do everything, right? So you add the title, and I'm not going to take you all of this, right? I'm going to just click through it. So you add the title, I will put the intangibles in, and then you do publication/completion. So has this work been published? If you already published the work, but then you're like, oh snap, I probably need a copyright. So if you already published it, you put yes. If you didn't, you put no. My recommendation, don't publish it until you get the copyright. Authors. Your authors, so this is if you are the author, right? So I could just put add me, but you can also, add somebody else. And now why would you do that is what you may be thinking. Well, if you are doing this for someone else, then you will put them as the author. Or if you're a publishing company and you had someone write a book for you, then you will put them as the author. Now, these are the claimants, right? So these are the people that, the copyright is being transferred to. So that being said, this is you, right? So this is you, basically. Limitation of claim. So this is if you were to have any type of limitations on it. So this is if, if you, maybe if you're using a public domain written book, or maybe if there was some type of previous registered book and you're just doing a next addition to it. But the point is, you're giving the Copyright Office all the information that they need to be able to make a sound decision. So if there's any extra information needed right here involving someone else that may limit your, capabilities of your work, put it in here. All right, rights and permissions. So this is if someone has the right to use your work, okay? So if someone is, maybe they see the book, and again, I'll give them my example. So they see the intangibles and they're like, man, I really love this book. I like to use it in a movie, or I like to use it in my video, or whatever it may be, right? Then they have to go to the, Copyright Office, the government, the United States Office, copyrights. They have to look up the intangibles, see if it's registered. If it is registered, then they have to go back to the claimants, right? So, or you right here, to the rights permissions. This being said, it goes back to who you want to be contacted when it comes time for someone to actually use your work. So it can be yourself, or it can be an organization, or it could be someone on behalf of yourself, right? So someone that, they deal with your, maybe your assistant or whatever it may be. The point is, you want to make sure this information is accurate. If someone is looking to use your work, you could possibly benefit from it, okay? Now, the correspondent is who the actual Copyright Office wants to speak with. So if they want to speak with, you, or speak with someone about your work, you need to make sure all of this information is 100% correct. And as you can see, these are actually required, whereas the rights and permissions were not required. So you looking at all of this, guys, for the correspondent, this is like the most important thing when it comes to those two, because you have to, if the Copyright Office, if they have a question, they're like, hey, is this the right address? Or, did you mean to put this? Or did you know somebody else has something similar to this? You need to make sure that you're able to discuss it with them. So this can either be yourself, someone on behalf of you, or it can be an organization. Again, if you're an organization, so if you're a publishing company, and if you have authors that are writing your book, more than most likely this will be you, right? Now, the mail certificate. This is the person that, that basically everything should be mailed to, right? If you're an organization, mail it to the organization. If you are a individual, mail it to the individual. And guys, a lot of this is kind of redundant, but it's actually very different. So, faithfully pay close attention and you're going to do it right. Special handling. Now, this is if anything, special needs to be done, basically. Certification. This is basically you certifying that, you or the company certifies that everything you inputted in here is correct. If you don't, as you can see, you'll be fined no more than $2,500. All right, you can do a lot with $2,500. So make sure you put everything in there right. Review submission. So this is everything review. Once you review it, then you go save for later. You'll press pay. So you don't do it. Pay, and they'll prompt you to the payment page where you could pay it, and it's going to be $55 or $65 online, or like $85 if you mailed all that information in. Okay. Now that that is satisfied, now that we're good here, guys, you can expect to hear back from them. It was about 2-3 months before I actually got the copyright approved. But that being said, what you will see is on the beginning page is you'll line in and you'll see open cases. So basically all of that right there, everything you just inputted, you basically have the copyright because it's just an open case, right? So everything should be on the up and up. As long as everything on the up and up, you have the copyright. So now what this means is that you can publish the book, all right? So what's happened so far? We've written our book by using a consistent, basically we made a dedicated decision at first, and then we consistently saw our way through, even had to beat ourselves to see our way through to the end, okay? Number 2, we formatted our book. So we formatted our actual paperback or Kindle book. Now the formatting guidelines are going to be different for your cover, and we'll go over that shortly. But we formatted our book, and now we've copyrighted our book. Lastly, and not least, we have to publish the book, okay? Now, let's go here to what we call KDP.com, okay? So this is KDP. So you log in here with your Amazon credentials. You can log in this exact same thing. So this is nothing more than, your Amazon account but now you have books that you're publishing to Amazon, right? So this is all it is. No different if you're watching YouTube and you have a YouTube channel. Same thing, all right? So this being said, as you can see, this is the books that I already have. And they put my book on sale when I didn't put it on sale. That's funny. All right. So these are the books: Kindle ebook, paperback, and you can create a hardcover if you like as well. So we're sticking here, and we're going to press create. Now, for the sake of this video, because the steps are not all that different when it comes to Kindle ebook and paperback, we're going to actually stick with the paperback. Okay. So create a paperback book real quick. And again, the steps are the exact same. So choose your, what's we call it, book title, intangibles. And the way I'm putting this in, guys, you just use it for your own knowledge as far as when you have your own book. It's what you can't see. So, you got you a little book, whatever it may be called. You got the main title, then you got the subtitle, right? And then add a series. So, if I have the intangibles 1, 2, and 3, I'll put the series details right there. That ain't the case right now. Author, right? So the author, you put all the information of the author right there, right? So we'll see if we can get away with that. S2, they probably won't. Maybe 2. S2, C. All right, so there it is. And if there's any contributors, right? So if there's anybody that contributed to your work, you would put them, give them the credits right there. Descriptions is what you can't see that determines what you will see. I'm not sure if that's what my description says. It says a little more than that, but we'll just keep it there. Publishing rights, I own a copyright and I hold the necessary publishing rights. So again, remember I talked about the public domain earlier? This is very crucial, right? So if this was a public domain work, if you were, doing public domain for whatever reason, if you don't know what public domain is, to make it really brief, I recommend you Googling it, but really brief, it's basically old documents, old readings, old movies, old songs, all of old stuff, basically like century ago or 50 years ago, that was big in a time when it was posted, published in that time. However, their copyright has run out, right? So their copyright, it depends on what kind of project, but usually between like 50, sometimes 25 years, sometimes 50, sometimes 100 years, okay? So, but whatever it may be, after that copyright is done, if there's no one there to renew it, or sometimes it may not be renewable, then it will be basically used for the public domain. But you still would have to, you still on the back page will have to say that it's like partially public domain work. So you still have to give the initial author their credit, basically, with public domain work. Okay, so keywords, all of this is optional. Just put some stuff in there. So you just want to think about what your stuff is about, right? So self-improvement, life experience, stuff like that. You just put some stuff in there and then choose up to 2 categories. So then you want to choose, what category. So like mine was like definitely nonfiction. And let's just say business. Let's say business, and let's say, let's try to make this quick. And you can get caught up on this. Like you really got to do some real search. And I ain't gonna hold you up. It took me, I was doing that for like about 30 minutes, just because I wanted to make sure that, I'm in the right category. So, do that if you need to. Does your book classify as any of these types? Low content? No. Large print book, content is 16.5 size or greater. I believe so. Adult content, inappropriate language? No. Hey guys, don't mess up on that either as far as the adult content. All right, so save and continue. Now, next page. All right, so next page, guys, we can go ahead and get a little more. This is a KDP ISBN. The ISBN, just to show you actually, ISBN stands for International Standard Book Number. It's used to identify your book's attributes such as format, edition, and publisher. Most books are required to have an ISBN, which is unique to each book. Now, again, you could buy your own ISBN, and it's like $25 to $30, or you can just use Kindles or use Amazon's. I used Amazon's. I did not purchase my own. I didn't find anything wrong with that, okay? Publication date. So this is what date that you wish your stuff to be live, right? So if I wanted to publish it today, I would do that. Publish today. Let's do it. Ink and paper type. So this is if, most of you guys want to do black and white, interior white paper. So just keep it simple right there. Trim size. These are all the trims. This is how it has to be, right? So do you want the paperback cover? Do you want that to be matte or glossy? The bleed settings, no bleed, bleed PDF only. All of these things, typically you have to stay within these guidelines, and typically with the Kindle Create, you're already within these guidelines, okay? So upload your paperback cover. Now, I'm not going to, if it works, it works right now, but this is not what this is for. But I will go ahead and do it. I will go ahead and see if we're about to work it. Okay, so this is it right here. And now it's doing the uploading. So full transparency, guys, this uploading process for me was kind of like, it wasn't that simple, right? So not only wasn't simple just because of the upload, but also because of what I'm going to show you next, being the cover. Now, this is the cover, right? So when you have your cover, you can do this thing right here called like Launch Cover Creator. I paid someone to do my cover. You may have seen that on the first page. So I did not do it. Got it, don't show it again. And I'm just going to show you real quick how this looks. So you can do it right here. Look, see that? Looks cool. Look at all that. Not bad, not bad. All of that looks cool. Choose your design. You do everything, right? So if you want to do it like this, very smooth, no problem. Now, I work with somebody, great guy, does a lot of great business for me, a lot of great work. So that being said, I had him do it, and we kind of went back and forth on it for a little second, just because it was getting the actual thing down pat was kind of challenging, right? And let me show you why. Remember, this is the paper book cover guidelines, and you'll be able to find, as well as the paper book guidelines, you'll be able to find your Kindle cover guidelines as well. They're going to be slightly different just because of the width and the length of each cover will be slightly different, okay? So the thing that really messed us up is that you have to account for if your book is under 80 pages or under 79 pages. So if your book is under 79 pages, it'll be a little bit different of dimensions versus it being over 80 pages, because you'll have a spine in your book. Now, my book is under 80 pages, so it does not have a spine. So that was the kind of hold up, but we figured it out. This being said, guys, it shows you right here everything you need to know. It says it right there. So this right here, this is everything you guys really know, right? You need to know. So I will actually make it my business to put this in the link. I'll put this in the description as well, along with along with the copyright. So I'll put the copyright in the description as well, right? So just make your account, and also the paperback cover. Now this right here, since our cover's not updated, it should let us save it. Okay, cool. Oh no, they didn't. They made it. Okay. They are going to make us, and the only reason this is uploaded is because it's in KDP format. That's the only reason. All right, I thought the cover you already have. Oh shoot, my bad. Steppers out there, man. Make sure y'all right. All right, so look, upload the cover we already got. Now I actually got a file on my computer, so I'm about to go ahead and upload it. And here it is, right here. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and upload this cover. So this was the stuff that was like getting us, again, a little bit confused. So faithfully, they'll let me just upload this cover right here really quick, because the original cover, there were some things. Okay, so here we go. Now, this cover that you're about to see is just the, okay, sign me a free, sign ISBN. You got to actually hit that sign ISBN. Okay, now we're good. So now we can, to the manuscript, please review. Okay, so launch the previewer. So this previewer is basically everything, right? So if you don't get through this previewing phase, and they're pretty strict, right? So if you don't get through this, you're gonna have to keep going back and forth until you get it. And just right here alone, it took me a couple hours to actually get the uploading files. And then it took me a few days going back and forth with my guy, figuring out the exact dimensions that we needed, okay? Now, once you get this all figured out and all created, you're in a position where the next thing you have to do is simply to set your pricing. Now, your pricing is going to be not only for the United States, but you can choose what other countries that you want your pricing in. So you can choose if you want it to be in the United States, Canada, Australia, United Kingdom, all of these different places. You can have your ebook. You'll be able to decide and set the actual You'll be able to decide and set the actual prices, and they'll be able to show you what you'll get. Okay. Now, one thing that I just noticed that I called out again is that they actually made me go back on my price, and I didn't set the price. Here we go. So I didn't do this with my price up here, but they did. Okay. Now, that's up to them. And if you guys would actually like to sample the intangibles, whether you like to hear it here, you can, press Audible, get your Audible thing going on, whatever you want to do. If you want to sample the intangibles, go ahead and check it out. All right. Now, this is taking a little time. Um, I'll put the intangibles link in the description. I'll put everything in the description. Faithfully, this gets done. Just, it's about to get done, guys. Stick with me. I want you guys to see this, just so you can kind of see, what you can expect. But all in all, guys, this is really like all it was. From start to finish, this is the process of writing your first book. So whether you're leaving right now or you're about to stick it out with me, I just want to say congratulations for writing your first book. And man, just have fun with it. Don't take it so seriously. Love the actual process. And if you enjoy that process of making what you think about turn into reality, then the sky is the limit for you. You will really enjoy writing a book if you enjoy what you're thinking about, make it into a reality. It's the same thing, except it's even better, in my opinion, because it takes less time. You control what happens, right? Versus other things. There's too many, there's a lot of variables. This right here, all you got to do is sit back, have your carved out time period, and get the writing. In other words, get the stepping. All right, guys. So checking for blank pages. We're doing all this. If you're still here, you're a real one. If not, I understand. What's up, Steph? All right, so it finally finished, and as you can see, there was an error processing your files. So, I just actually let this do its thing while I'm editing the video. So it was about 20 minutes. And this is why I said it took me a few days. But you guys, at this point, you know everything that you need. And the edit right here is just the cover, ironically enough. And also this. Um, so I guess this wasn't in the right format either. So all good, guys. Now you guys know everything that you need, and until next time, I mean, only thing that's left is the pricing, right? So uh, they are not going to let us do the pricing right now until we fix these errors. However, I'm not fixing it for obvious reasons. But you got everything. So until next time, as always, get the step in and publish a book yourself. That way you'll set the prices yourself, and the covers and everything like that. It's tedious. This is a very tedious part. I'm not gonna hold you up, but if it's worth it, especially if you want to publish your first book. So just do it.